Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
First Friday of September, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo with you. We got Mike Rizzo. We got Damian Perez filling in for Christian Catt, who's over at the City Place Studios right there in downtown West Palm Beach. I am up in Madison, Wisconsin, in preparation for Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin, which is coming up tomorrow, of course, and also the Ironman on Sunday. So we got a packed weekend ahead, and we also had a good game of football last night that sort of was unorthodox, sort of took people by surprise in terms of how it played out. But the Dallas Cowboys lost the first game of the season. 24-20 was the final score against the Philadelphia Eagles. Had about an hour of a weather delay in the third quarter, so the game didn't really get rolling again until about 11:30 Eastern time. And they had to finish it off basically cold turkey off of an hour of weather delay, which you don't really see that much. But Philly got hit with a thunderstorm, and we had to take a little bit of a hiatus. A game that was back and forth in some capacity, and also Jalen Carter, who's probably the Eagles' best defensive player, getting ejected before we even have a first offensive snap by spitting on Dak Prescott. And then all of a sudden the video comes out at halftime, and Dak Prescott spit first. It's spitting back and forth, and the rules are the rules, and ultimately they threw him out immediately. But for some reason, the NFL, outside of the other inhumane types of hits that you see throughout the game, apparently spitting is where they draw the line. Nonetheless, Russo and Rizzo streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter /X at ESPN West Palm. Also on your radio dial, ESPN 106.3. Pleasure to have you aboard for the next 2 hours up till 6 p.m. Mike Rizzo, we had football last night. What was your reaction?
Colin, I can't get away from spitting. If you remember, at Inter Miami striker Luis Suarez spit on a staffer, and now Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott. You know what Dak did? He did the old bait and switch. He did the old bait and switch.
He did. He rage baited.
Got to give him some credit. I mean, listen, his spit didn't land on him.
You're allowed to spit on the ground. It's fair game.
So people aren't freaking out today on Dak Prescott like people are freaking out on Jalen Carter.
You're allowed to do that.
Right.
You're allowed to spit on the ground.
It was a little bait and switch, though, and Carter fell for it. And there have been some things with Carter that we all know, the off-the-field issues at Georgia. We all know, he's not been necessarily the model citizen when it comes to on the field as well, Colin. So the fact of the matter is, though, he was the best player, I think, defensively in that game, and to be sent off as early as he did, man, did it have an impact for the Cowboys. I mean, Dak Prescott. Can we give him some credit? Can we give Dak Prescott some credit, who I think did everything right and did everything to win the game last night, but his teammates failed him, a la Miles Sanders, letting a linebacker chase him down in the open field. CeeDee Lamb, brother, can we catch a ball? Can we maybe not drop 3 passes in crucial moments of the game? So, Colin, I really thought the Dallas Cowboys did enough to win the game. I thought the Cowboy defense was better in the second half. Now, I texted you in that first half. I said, it looks like the Cowboys have to score every doggone possession.
Well, they did. They scored every possession of the first half.
But like the Eagles, they could not. Gosh, the Cowboy defense could not stop the Eagles in that first half. And a lot of it was a containment of Jalen Hurts, and Hurts using his legs and making them pay that way. But I was very impressed with the Cowboys, and I really think Dak did enough to win the game, but others failed him. And I think if you're a Cowboy fan, you got to be happy. Obviously, it stinks that you had the game right there, defending Super Bowl champs. You had them beat, but you got to be happy the way that your team showed up. You do. You got to be happy.
You got to almost think that weather delay it hurt both teams offensively. Nobody could really lock in. You gave defenses more time to adjust to the offensive game plans, and that was evident because you had no scoring once we got back into play. But if that was the case and both defense would have really adjusted post an hour of a weather delay, a pseudo halftime, that biggest play of the game was Miles Sanders getting caught by Zach Bond on that 50-yard run that was basically home free. And Zach Bond was able to catch him with about a couple minutes to go in the third quarter. And then 3 plays later, he's fumbling, and the Eagles have it. We go into weather delay. Yep. If Dallas was able to score there, and it was able to be 27-24, we put all the pressure on the Eagles. Dallas defense was able to adjust post-weather delay. That game is completely different. That was the biggest play of the game in terms of determining the outcome. You can't control weather, but one thing you can't control is, how do you get caught? If you're Miles Sanders, unbelievable.
Cannot believe it.
That's a linebacker catching up to you, Miles Sanders. I know Miles Sanders is not the youngest guy in the world, and he's never been the fastest guy in the world. But that was the biggest play of the game, was getting caught there a couple minutes to go in the third quarter, and then you go immediately into weather delay.
If you're a starting running back, and I know it's running back by committee there in Dallas, but he got majority of the carries last night. And if you're a damn near starting running back in the league like that, you got to have some breakaway speed. Maybe he was gassed, Colin, because if you watch the play and you watch it develop, there was a slow cooking development play, and he really bounced it, and you thought he was gone.
He ran faster than he did.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He's just not that fast.
I can't fathom it. And I know we're doing our cover 5 picks, and we took Dallas, and I got greedy. Last night. I wanted that damn touchdown, Colin. I wanted that damn touchdown.
Well, that costs. In a way, if you really wanted to, I guess, come to the conclusion that the game was going to play itself out post-weather delay as it was anyway, if Dallas scored there and they were at the 10-yard line, if they were able to figure out a way to get in the end zone on that 50-yard run when he was basically nobody near him, if they were able to figure that out, that entire game is different. And you got the sense that Dallas could hang after that first drive. They walked them down the field right post Jalen Carter getting kicked out. They walked him down the field. Mm-hmm. The Eagles, all right, they responded, and then Dallas does it again. Yep. You got to give Dallas a lot of credit here, and you got to walk away impressed with Dak Prescott, like you said. You got to walk away with him, impressed how he threw the football.
Selfishly, I wanted people to eat a foot today, too. I wanted the Cowboys to win the game and have all those people who are hamming the drum about how, oh, no, Dallas, Jerry's an idiot. Oh, the Packers are winning the Super Bowl. I wanted all those people to eat a foot today. I wanted them to eat a foot today. I did.
Hold on. You're right. Dallas showed some guts today by playing hard. True. But I don't want to circle back to what we talked about yesterday. What happened yesterday has nothing to do with the fact that trade was a good. That doesn't tell you that the trade was a good trade.
But I wanted, it's Doomsday Cowboys. That was I wanted those people to eat a foot today. But regardless, Eagles win. Give them credit. They made more plays at the end of the game, too. Jalen Hurts was really good. Colin, Saquon Barkley. How he is able to just bounce off of tacklers and bounce off of defenders and make something out of nothing. Truly one of the better. There's a reason he got voted number 1 by his peers for best player in the NFL.
And Dallas mostly did a good job on him, too, which is the weird part.
That one-handed catch that he had in the fourth quarter that should have been an incompletion that turned out to be a 5-yard gain. Saquon is truly incredible, and you got to give him flowers as well. I think those two, Hurts and Barkley, I'm going to take a brain surgeon to tell you, I think they were the big reasons they were able to win that game, man.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts played a winning football game. That's it. He played he didn't get sacked. He protected the football. You knew he was going to utilize his legs. Yeah, you knew that he was going to be a play to win, not play to impress. And he doesn't wow you in terms of the decisions he makes. He takes one or two deep shots a game. And he had that one to Jahan Dotson. But other than that, he did not get what's his name? A.J. Brown involved at all. And they still were able to win the game.
Yeah.
If it shows you that, the passing attack didn't really have much going, and their best pass catcher was pretty much uninvolved. Their 2 best pass catchers, pretty much uninvolved with Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. The fact that was the case and their best defensive player was ejected before the game even started, and they still won. It's a little Chiefs-Patriots coded. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. They could steal games like that because they're good enough where they could get away with it, and they're good enough and they're experienced enough where they know how to win in 100 different ways. They could blow you out. They could win a back-and-forth battle. They could also protect the lead for an entire quarter post-weather delay. Got to give their defense, being stingy at the end of the game, a lot of credit. And number one, their offense. I mean, getting points on the board, 24 points, when you didn't have your two biggest pass catchers just uninvolved, essentially. You gotta tip your cap to that.
Yep.
So I was impressed with both teams there. I was expecting a lower scoring affair. I mean, I said 27-21, so I guess I wasn't far off. But I was expecting at least I wasn't expecting the fourth quarter to be, no scoring.
Right.
I was expecting the first quarter to be no scoring. They're figuring each other out. Both offenses were ready to go. Both offenses were ready to hum. So from a Schottenheimer perspective, whether you want to tie this back to Jones, whether you want to tie this back to Matt Eberflus, whoever you want to chalk it up to on Dallas and the Philadelphia side, you got to be impressed with that both those teams are pretty good, at least from what we've seen. Both teams are pretty good.
Yeah, and even to take it a step further, like I do believe Dallas lost. Like they shot themselves in the foot. They had it, man.
Yeah,
they had that game.
They
had
couldn't catch
that
a
game.
football. Catch a football.
It's catch a football by CeeDee Lamb. I don't want to keep harping the Miles Sanders thing because we talked about it already, Kyle. But you got that there too. But can I get on CeeDee Lamb a bit, Colin? Because
what was it? Jake Ferguson or Shoemaker who had that, over the middle in the end zone, wide open. Like, come on, you have these opportunities, and you're right, they didn't complete the plays at the end of the day.
And the Eagles secondary was handsy. There were pass interference calls. Some of them may be favorable for Dallas. We could argue that, but in the end of the day, if CD makes that over the slant, Kyle, that hit him in the face. By the way,
yep,
that slant hit him in the face,
and that deep ball,
and then the deep ball too. Now, listen, tough play, but you make the catch.
You make that catch.
You make the catch. I agree with you.
You're getting paid $35 million a year.
You make
that catch.
I'm happy, Colin. I'm so happy you think that because. The broadcast and Collinsworth, former receiver, I think Collinsworth does a great job as much as I can't stand him for being a bungle. But Collinsworth was like, the earlier two, we could get on him, but that's tough. But I go back with you, Kyle. That guy's getting a tremendous amount of money. He's getting paid top 3 receiver money, a la Jamar Chase, a la Justin Jefferson. You got to come up with those. And if he makes a catch, they win the game. That's why you got to feel happy. It's bittersweet as a Cowboy fan, I feel like today, because it's, in the end of the day, it's the same out Cowboys. You lost to the damn Eagles again. But in the back of your mind, if CD makes a couple of those catches, things could be different. And my God,
if 4 drops, it's inexcusable.
Right.
I don't care how many yards you had.
Right.
You can't drop 4 passes.
And what'd you tell me before the show? He's up there in drops. And overall,
since
in the last
2020, he leads the NFL with 35 drops.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. And you can't, in big moments like that, divisional rival on the road. You got a chance to win on the road. They just hung a banner 2 hours ago. You got to make those catches, man. You got to make those catches in those moments.
You cost your team the victory there. I put a lot of blame on Miles Sanders getting caught on that long run, but CeeDee Lamb, too, post-weather delay, left a lot to be desired.
Did Sanders
drops in the final drive?
Sanders forget the afterburners in Dallas, Kyle? My God.
Oh, he doesn't have any.
That guy is slow. And I'm slower than concrete. All right, but that guy is slow, man. Wow.
And then if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're costing your team the game. Last couple drives of the, trying to put your team in a position, at least, kick a field goal, make it a field goal game, whatever it might be. You can't cost your 4 drops is inexcusable. Inexcusable as a top of the line 30. You're making $35 million. $35 million. 5 years ago, that was elite money for a quarterback. And now all of a sudden, you're making that as a receiver, and you're costing team games. That's inexcusable. So you put a lot of blame on CeeDee Lamb. You put a lot of blame on Miles Sanders. But Dak Prescott, played a very complete game. He did a good job throughout the night. And defensively, at first it wasn't pretty, but being able to respond to that Eagle offense post-weather delay, can't hate that. Did a good job. You put your team at 24 points from the Eagles, you'd sign up for that. If you told the Cowboys, all right, we could give up 24 today to the Eagles, they're signing up. Where do I sign? So I think you can't necessarily put a ton of blame on Dallas' defense. It's that inability to make that big play. That's where they got burned. Got to make a big play, and that's not championship coded. Now it's early. It's a new coach, Jerry Jones. They have bad mojo to them. But
do they?
Yeah.
According to who?
according to not winning the playoff wins and NFC championship games in 30 years. How about that?
I thought you were alluding to, the hot topic.
Short-term, long-term.
The hot topic.
Mike, they haven't done anything in the postseason in 30 years.
Sure. But I thought you were alluding to the hot topic of, not getting Mike.
Well, they've never had big mojo to them. But to the same token, you had the opportunity. And I honestly walked away more impressed with Dallas. Dallas is a better team than I thought they were off of how they played then. You forget how good Dak can be when he's on it. And he didn't even necessarily light up the score sheet.
He was in shape. That was the best shape I've ever seen Prescott in my life, man. He was, coming off of that injury, he had some questions if, is there going to be a little rust?
That division's going to be very good. That division's going to be very good.
That guy did enough to win the game, Colin. They failed him. They failed him.
That division's going to be really good.
The defense failed them in the first half, and then the skill players in the second half between Sanders and the drops by CD.
Weather delay burned them too because it just kind of takes you out of it. Puts you in a funk.
Do you want to know what the weather delay didn't burn? That was the under, my friend. That was the under. I hit on both, Kyle.
What was that, 45.5?
So it was 47, and I got plus. So 3 days ago now, I did +8 with the Cowboys, and that 47 over-under, I hit both of them last night. I felt like a thief watching that game. Now, I told you in our Cover 5, where we're picking against Theoretically Speaking, loser's going to have to street perform. You could join with Cover 5. Join us on the fun. We got 4.5 points because we took 8.5 on Cover 5. So I was a winner all around last night. But I did want to get greedy. Colin, I did want to get greedy with a Cowboy win and really... And the best part, Theoretically Speaking, took the Eagles, too. They faded us. And took the Eagles. So that's a double whammy.
Yeah. And I can't walk away from that game. Final thing here before we get to break. If you're sitting there saying, Jalen Hurts not that good. Jalen Hurts, he played a winning football game. He made big plays with his legs. He went 19 of 23, and multiple of those were throwing the ball away. He didn't get sacked. Didn't put his team in a bad position. Played a winning football game.
What do people want? 300 yards and 5 touchdowns?
If you want the bells and whistles of a quarterback performance, how about a win? Those are the people that don't win games saying that. Winning games is more important.
The Cowboys took away everything in that first half from those receivers.
It was bizarre how A.J. Brown was completely obsolete. Maybe they just did such a good job to shut him down. But he was obsolete.
Yeah, but Hurts did the smart thing. They didn't leave a spy, Kyle, and he rushed his way all the way. Him and Barkley rushed their way all the way down the field the entire first half, and it ultimately ended up winning them the game.
Made huge plays with his legs, and outside of I believe it was a drop by Saquon, a couple incompletions throwing the ball. He went 19. Basically near 100% completion,
right?
Outside of the throwing the ball away and everything. Nearly, come on. Is your quarterback doing that? The answer is no. 888-760-3776. NFC East. Walking away from that's going to be a gauntlet of a division. If Washington is any good, and I have my worries about them, if they're any good, you got 3 pretty good teams there. They're going to beat each other up a bit, barring health.
According to our listen, I think the Giants are going to be better too. But
I think the Giants will be halfway decent.
Christian damn near says 10 games in a playoff berth for the Giants. So yeah. Definitely one of the better.
They're not going to be a rollover team. Not this year. This year.
The competition level in general in the NFL between the NFC West, the NFC East, the AFC West, and the AFC North, pretty doggone good this year.
We'll see. Dallas Eagles 24-20 final score after weather delay. No points. Dallas had a lot of opportunities, kind of squandered it away. But you walk away ultimately impressed with how they competed, how they didn't necessarily back down, and how they immediately punched Philly in the face. That's a win. That's a win, especially on the road like that. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez, 888-760-3776. Do you walk away from last night more impressed with Dallas or the Eagles? Let us know. 888-760-3776. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
The annual Boca Raton Bowl ABC Supply Company Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase heats up on Wednesday, September 10th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, at Boca Raton Innovation Campus in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve up their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. It includes all food samplings, beer, wine, cocktails, and soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
Football season is here, and the ultimate game day headquarters is Twin Peaks. Whether it's college Saturdays or NFL Sundays, catch every kickoff, every touchdown, every Hail Mary right here at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is delivering all the winning plays. Looking for a stronger lineup? No one does game day like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, come for the game, stay for the experience.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Damien Perez filling in for Christian Cat back at City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. I am up north, remote in Madison, Wisconsin. 888-760-3776. Dallas and the Eagles went head-to-head yesterday on Thursday Night Football to open up the season. Even amidst the weather delay, Eagles came out victorious, 24-20. But Dallas showed a little fight. Dallas probably had more opportunities to win the game than anybody thought. And 888-760-3776. Do you walk away more impressed with Dallas or more impressed with Philly? Let us know. 888-760-3776. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. Well, now that you got the godforsaken Brazil game tonight, you got a full slate of college football tomorrow. You have the NFL on Sunday. You got Monday Night Football. Basically, you got a ton to look forward to and a ton to bet on. Hard Rock Bet, go down the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Go to hardrock.bet online to get started. Hard Rock's great because you could just put $5 into the app and bet it, and you get $150 in bonus bets immediately. That's 5 into 150, basically for doing nothing, on the Hard Rock Bet app. Pro football is back, and the Hard Rock Bet puts the entire season in the palm of your hands. Touchdowns, spreads, player props. Place any bet before kickoff. You'll win a $20 on Sunday. You win a $20 bonus bet if a team scores a touchdown. How about that? Any cash bet, $20 bonus bets. They're throwing it around like candy. Go get started now. Get involved with those bonus bets. And with baseball's pushed in the postseason, you're going to have a lot of good baseball on the soon horizon. next couple weeks here as we enter into late September and October baseball. You're going to be watching this stuff anyway. Might as well sprinkle a little action on it with Hard Rock Bet offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager, terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-MINUTE. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Damian Perez with you. Mike, now going from here, Dallas has a tricky-ish schedule, not the hardest thing in the world, but Philly's the team. We talked enough about how we were impressed with Dallas. They squandered a couple opportunities, but Philly's got a tough schedule here. Did you walk away in some capacity unimpressed with what Philly offered?
No, I think Philly was missing pieces on that defense as well. Obviously, Carter Collin thrown out of the game, but others have been injured. There were new faces as well. Do you want to know the matchup that I thought the Cowboys were just winning all night? It was CeeDee Lamb against Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson could not keep up with CeeDee.
He was getting open, no doubt.
Poor CeeDee, God, how many drops you going to have, brother? But I really thought there was newness on that defense, and newness in the sense of no Carter after getting thrown out of the game, some pieces not being there anymore, new guys stepping into new roles. I think you saw a bit of that with how much Dallas's offense was clicking. And I want to give Coach Schottenheimer some credit, too. I was very impressed with him last night. Clock management, he did a great job. I know he's involved in calling plays. I really liked the play selection. I questioned if they were able to run the football with the lack of kind of a star power running back in the room. They were able to get a push on that line. Obviously, you got to keep the no Jalen Carter thing in mind. But I'm not going to overreact about Philly. They did enough to win the game, and that's what they did, Kyle. That's what they did. The Chiefs win ugly. Guess what? The Eagles, I think, proved last night they could do the same exact thing. I laughed at Kingdom Come about people complaining and or giving Jalen Hurts, rather not giving Jalen Hurts credit. All right, Jalen Hurts did exactly what he needed to win the football game. Was he bad down the stretch? I guess bad's a word, Kyle. Could he have done better down the stretch? Sure. But I want to tell you again, Dak Prescott, who did enough to win the game, didn't win on the other end either because other people failed him. The game went in Philadelphia's direction, and you take that 10 times out of 10 if you're a Philly fan. You take that if you're Nick Sirianni. When you start behind the 8 ball already with your best player on the team, arguably, Jalen Carter, getting sent off. Really impressed with the Eagles last night, and I was equally impressed with Schottenheimer and that operation he was able to run after everybody counted them out in that game.
NFL Red Zone commercials. Did you see Adam Schefter had to release that it's only a minute over the 7-hour period of Red Zone for the commercials?
Oh.
Did you see how they had to almost fan the kind of put a hose on the storm on the fire to make sure that nobody loses their minds too much? That's only 15 seconds of commercials per every hour or something like that.
So it cuts away for 15 seconds and then we come back.
I don't even know if it's cut away, but it's only 0.25% of the time that Red Zone will have commercials. The reason I bring this up is because Nick Wright said something interesting, who was on his TV show on Fox Sports, and he said that if you're a self-respecting, serious NFL fan, the only way you consume football is through Red Zone, you got to watch the whole game like an adult. Quote. What's your thoughts there?
I think he's wrong. With all due respect, I think he does a great job. I think he's a great professional. But I love Red Zone. It's the best product. And Colin, I got to be locked into Red Zone because you're going to be going through hell for 8 hours. I got to know what the hell's going on with these games coming up on Sunday. I'll have the Browns on the main screen, but to be honest, I'll probably be more locked into Red Zone because I got to make sure I see every big play. Red Zone for our job is perfect.
I say I agree with Nick Wright.
So
I agree with him.
But you can't watch every game, bud. You cannot watch. You can watch the big games.
You could turn on all the multi-boxes. Yeah, that's a better way to do it.
No,
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
I disagree.
You don't have a feel
brother.
for a game when you're watching just in the splash plays. It's built for fantasy. It's not built for understanding what happened in the game. It's built for fantasy.
I disagree. I think it's perfect for our job. You see every big interception, every big fumble recovery, every big touchdown.
But you don't have a feel for the game. You don't have a feel for the game.
They show you the big play leading up to them being in the red zone.
Say this one more time. You don't have a feel for the game. There's no doubt about that.
I disagree.
There's no doubt. You don't have a feel
completely
for the game. When you're watching it strictly off red zone, you watch 4 plays a half. Yeah, I mean, you're not watching a whole lot.
Disagree completely. You see every scoring play, and they update you how they got there and why they're in the red zone. I completely disagree.
I think
you're wrong here.
I think you're wrong here. It's built for fantasy. That's what it's built for.
Do you watch? Have you watched it?
I do the multi-box. I do. I've seen a red zone before. Yeah.
It's shocking to me that you're saying this because
I don't disagree with him. I don't. I understand. Do I think he's black and white correct versus wrong? No. I do think there's a place for red zone. But I think, if you don't have a feel, so my perspective is you don't get a complete feel for the game through red zone.
My mother got the boys and I red zone freshman year at Ohio State in 2000, the fall of 13, switching over to 14. God, I've watched it every Sunday
that's
since.
fine. That doesn't tell me anything about you actually getting the feel for the game.
Watched it every Sunday since, and I've been doing sports radio now. How old am I, Colin? For 12 years.
Mike,
I could honest to God say, watching Red Zone every Sunday, I'm 100% prepared to be able to talk anything that happened on the NFL season.
For fantasy. That's what it's built for.
I disagree.
It's built for fantasy.
I disagree.
You don't see the nuances of drives. You don't really get a feel for the game.
I think you're dead wrong there, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. I think a lot of people.
Why am I wrong? Why am I wrong?
You're wrong
Outside
because
of seeing interceptions, touchdowns, and red zone trips, you don't see any part of the game.
They update,
and there's like this punter dropped the punt, or something like that. You don't get to see the actual nuances of a drive. You don't get to see momentum. You don't see any of that.
You see every big play, and they update
big play. Fantasy. That's what it is.
No, and they update you how they got to the red zone. They always update.
They don't get. They had three. They had a 3-play drive.
They show you the two. They show you the two boom plays that got them to the 20.
Yeah, right. It's a dopamine.
So you want to see? So brother, you want to see the run for no gain on second down. I missed the run for no gain on second down, so I can't watch it. It's not a dopamine thing.
You're
dead wrong here.
You need to dopamine.
You're dead wrong here, and I think 80% of the NFL audience would agree.
Who you've pulled none of, by the way. But point being is you don't get the feel for the game because watching it standalone, you actually get to understand. Watching last night, and I understand you can't watch everything at once.
It's the only game available.
You can't watch everything at once. I get that, but if you actually wanted to see it, I think actually the multi-box, whether they're 4 important games or something like that, when the games actually mean something, that to me, you get a lot more out of than just watching Red Zone.
Hang on.
They're going to give you, Michael Pittman getting a touchdown, Colts Dolphins to make it 17 to 31 with 13 minutes ago. That's not a big play. It doesn't really tell you anything. It tells you for the fantasy side of it. That's my.
And you're dead wrong during the 4 o'clock hour when there's like 3 games too. You see every single play. You see every single play in the 4 o'clock hour with the 3 games.
Isn't that crazy?
No.
Throw on all 4 at once.
Dude, you're wrong. I just, we can disagree on this, but you're dead wrong here.
What I usually do is, especially during the 4 o'clock hour, I'll throw on, if there's 3 CBS games, 2 Fox games, including the game of the week. I'll throw on the game of the week on the computer, and I'll have the other 4 games on the multi-box.
So when I did, Illinois radio in Peoria, I would watch the Bear game start to finish. I would watch the Bear game start to finish because they were basically the Browns of Cleveland and so on. Colin, we don't have that team down here. So I'm watching Red Zone and I'm properly prepared week in and week out to talk NFL with you.
Yeah, but you don't
unless you grill me.
You don't get the feel for the game.
Unless you grill me about the 2nd and 10 where Brian Robinson rushed for no gain.
Mike, if you just saw an 80-yard touchdown, a throwing touchdown, fine. But you didn't see the 3 previous drives where the team was sort of, battling with penalties, something like that. You don't get a feel for that because they don't show you that. That's part of football. The actual start to finish part of the game is not just the touchdown. It's not just whether he makes a field goal.
So do you think Scott Hansen just sits there on his hands? That's why I'm asking if you watch the product. Because
yes, I've watched the product.
Because Scott Hansen does a great job, that's why he's great at his job of updating you on what has happened throughout the game.
If you're watch the full game. If you could see everything at once and be completely fine, because football is a segmented product. It is 10 seconds here. It's 12 seconds there. All right, there's a play over here. This game's in timeout. You don't need to see every second of the 8 games. You don't need to do that. But if a certain game gets close, fine.
You just said you don't need to see every second, so watch Red Zone.
No,
what you're describing is Red Zone.
Of the important games, you need to see every second. You need to see every second.
And usually the important games, to be fair, the important games are usually the Sunday nighters, the Monday nighters, or the 1 o'clock prime time and the 4 o'clock prime time.
Mike, what I'm saying is if there are playoff contending teams playing on a 1 o'clock slate, that's an important game. Or if there's 2 very good teams, 1 bad team, it's good. 8 games are not great every week. If it's a 34-7 game, it's not that important. Fine. But to me, Red Zone is built for fantasy, and I don't understand how you could refute that. You haven't. I can't understand. You can't refute that. It's for fantasy.
It's
so you can understand who scores touchdowns, who has big plays, what individual player is having a big game, but you don't get a feel for the actual team and how the team is playing. That's it.
I disagree.
takeaway.
Disagree wholeheartedly. It's okay.
That's
It's
fine.
okay.
It's a dopamine fix.
It's not a
You
dopamine
can't
fix.
sit through the 2nd and 10, no gain.
It's
You can't
not
sit
true.
through that.
That's not
You can't
true.
sit through that.
I
You
si-
need these 7 screens at once. You need the Discord. You need the video game. You need the Twitch stream, and then you need Red Zone.
You're talking to somebody who's going to watch every snap of the
That's what you
Ohio
need.
State game when they beat Grambling 40
That's
to
fine.
nothing.
That's your favorite
And
team.
who's going
I'm
to
not
watch
gonna-
the
I'm
Brown
just-
snap,
I'm not
every
gonna say
snap
that.
of the Brown game. And who watches every snap of Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football,
That's fine.
Thursday Night Football.
That's fine.
Sadly, I'm going to be with our
Red
good.
Zone is a watered down. It's too much. It's
Dead wrong.
Too much fantasy.
You're not giving Scott Hansen enough credit. I don't appreciate it. I don't
this
appreciate
is not me
it.
knocking how the production is done. The
I
production
don't
is
appreciate
fine.
it.
The production is fine. My takeaway is, as a concept, you can't get a feel for an entire specific individual matchup off of Red Zone alone. You can't.
You and
It's
Nick
not
Wright.
possible.
You and Nick
It's not
Wright
possible.
need to watch the product and then get back to me. You need to
I've
watch
seen
the product
This
and
is
get
not
back
me.
to me.
I've seen the product. When I was a junior in high school and had a fantasy team, yeah, Red Zone was fun for fantasy. But when you're actually trying to get a feel for the game, it doesn't do a lot for you. It really doesn't. I mean, yeah, you can see, who scores. Half the games don't even matter. And I understand. They do. You know what they do a good job with? They do a good job of showing you the highlight reel in between the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock hour, or the halftime. They do a good job with that.
I'm covered on all bases because the big game's going to have its own screen anyway. I got 5 screens in the apartment.
You could watch the important stuff at once. Red Zone, it's for fantasy. You're a fantasy player. That's fine.
I hate fantasy football. Good at it, but I hate it. Couldn't care less.
Red Zone is catered to you, my friend.
Couldn't care
Catered
less
to you.
about fantasy football.
It's catered to the individual player and the individual performance. That's just my takeaway.
I-
888-760-3776. Go ahead.
I just think you and the great Nick Wright dead wrong here.
I'm not saying
But it's okay.
you're not a self-respecting football. I'm
It's
not
okay.
saying as hyperbolic as he is.
You're sitting on
I'm
a
saying
pedestal over
no,
there in
I'm not.
Madison, shaming everybody for
I'm
watching
not-
Red Zone
Mike,
and never
I told you-
ill-equipped.
I told you that you can't get a feel for the game, and you can't. You can't get a full feel for an individual game off of just relying on Red Zone when there's 8 other games at once, and they're only going to show you, unless it's a classic game and you get, the ending. You don't understand what happened in the first 3 quarters because there's 8 other games of content that they have to show you. They obviously have to cut probably 90% of what is going on during the game. How can you say that you have a feel for the game? Watch the highlights if you get the feel for the game. Watch the highlights. That's exactly what we're doing. You're watching live highlights. That's it.
That's why you're not describing the product, why I keep going back to, do you watch Red Zone
I
within
watched
the last 5 years?
And they show you, yes, when it's the end of the game, not every 1 o'clock game's going on at the first time. And they have 3 teams still playing or 3 good games still going, and they could go red zone to red zone. That makes sense. That works. But when it's a packed 1 o'clock slate, a la what Sunday is going to be, when it's a packed 1 o'clock slate, that to me shows you you're not going to get a feel because there's too much to show and not enough time. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And you're telling me I'm wrong because
wrong.
Scott
Not
Hansen
wrong.
does a great
Dead
job.
wrong.
That's what I'm hearing. Because Scott Hansen does a great. I'm not bashing Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen's great at his job and updating you
Not
on the
bashing
ebbs and
Scott
flows
Hansen.
of the game.
Not bad. Not bad.
He'll show you the game. He'll go, all right, this is what they
I
went
get
3
more
and
out
out.
of-
They had a
I
flag. They
get
were rid
more
of
out of
flags. And
watching 4 or 5 games that I'm truly interested in on the multi-bucks at once. I get more out of that.
By the way, I am interested. How are you able to watch NFL football this year?
What do you mean?
Do you pay for it?
Sunday ticket? Yeah.
Okay.
What do you? Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm just, wondering how Colin's bootlegging the NFL. That's it.
No, I pay for the Sunday ticket. You know how I get away with it. My Wisconsin ID still registers me as a student.
Better
So I get
not
a
say
student.
that too loud.
I
Now,
get a
do you
student
get it through the NFL app? Is it something that you get from
You
NFL.com?
get it through YouTube TV because YouTube TV has Sunday tickets.
So you pay for YouTube TV now.
No. You could pay for a specific Sunday ticket without YouTube TV. That's what I do. That's how you do it. It's via YouTube.
So what is it? What's the fee if you don't mind?
What do you
me
mean?
asking?
What do you mean?
Because I'm paying $34 a month. I got a pretty good deal. $34 a month on top of the $89.99.
$84 a month plus the $20 a month you're spending on YouTube Premium. You give about $300 a month to YouTube. How about that?
It's not $300, but
you give
it's about
an arm and a
$1.50.
leg
It's about
to
$1.50
YouTube a month. YouTube.
It's about
Wow.
realistically $1.40 probably. Yeah, $1.40.
The red zone for the year is A couple $100. Yeah.
Red Zone? So I thought you don't watch Red Zone.
Excuse me. Sunday ticket included with Red Zone. That's what it is. It's Sunday ticket. You're not buying just Red Zone.
Well, they could burn. They could burn your Red Zone. You don't need that.
We'll take a time out. We'll get Steve Palazzino involved in this. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
2025 Florida football ticket packages are on sale now. Don't miss any of the 6 home games, including the home opener on August 30th versus Long Island, the SEC home opener versus Texas on October 4th, and Senior Day versus Florida State on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com and secure your seat for all the action only in the Swamp.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation, 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. In office, West Palm Beach.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Mike Rizzo needs a constant dope meme fix with Red Zone and watching the highlights and making sure he sees a touchdown every 5 seconds or else he gets uninterested. But he can go to Mun's Only Medical to maybe fix this problem, huh?
Correct. My good partner, Doc Al, by the way, thanks for the setup. My good partner, Doc Al.
You took it.
Yeah, appreciate it. My good friend, Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. Folks, I can't stress this enough. It's the one-stop shop for all-around health. It's the one-stop shop for all-around health for men, all right? Women have all of these facilities all over the place. There's no other place where you could get hair loss solution, skin assessment, expert cardiovascular healthcare solutions, anti-aging, nutrition, weight management. I'm focusing on the nutrition and weight management. As you can watch on the stream, I'm in pretty good shape, but I got to get rid of the bottom of the barrel, the damn love handles, the extra fat that just won't go away because I'm 30 now. I am getting all of that taken care of with my good friend Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. I'll be there on Tuesday. We're going to go through my nutrition plan. I did the Staiku body fat test, so I know exactly how much body fat I'm dealing with compared to my muscle mass. They got everything over there at Men's Only Medical. And once again, I cannot stress enough, it's the one-stop shop for all-around men's health. It's the one-stop shop facility for men's health. That's my good friend Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. Visit him, Dixie Highway, or go online, mensonlymedical.com. That's mensonlymedical.com. Tell him Riz sent you. And maybe if you get a consultation on Tuesday, I'll see you there.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damien Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Good friend of show. He's the president of the Good Karma Brands. He's a Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. Steve Palazzino with us now. Hi, Steve. Hello. How are you?
Hey, guys. Great to be with you. Been listening to this spirited debate you've been having.
So, Steve, why don't you loop yourself in here? Red Zone. I lean on the side. Nick Wright said earlier this week about how Red Zone is not necessarily the true diehard way to watch a football game. I don't necessarily agree with the black and white nature of, it's the right way versus the wrong way. I do understand where he's coming from. I do see his point. I kind of agree that I don't think you could get a full feel of a game watching Red Zone. Mike is on the other side of this. Where are you?
Well, no, you don't get a full feel of the game, but the game has changed on what people are watching for. They're gambling, they're playing fantasy, so it is really catered to that. We also live in that instant gratification society. I don't need to, watch the entire drive. I just want to see them score. So, I don't think there is a one right way. That's the beauty of technology and the evolution. You want to watch it the full way, watch it the full way. Get the ticket or watch it on your local station. You want to watch it for touchdowns or for because that's the way you choose to enjoy the game, and that's fine. It's like when you have these mega casts, is it like, oh, you shouldn't have the other versions because the old way is the only way, Colin? Come on.
He's shaming Steve. Are you shocked at all that Colin is shaming people for liking Red Zone? I personally am not.
No.
I'm not shocked at all.
Do you watch Red Zone?
My biggest surprise is that at least you're talking football. I thought you'd be talking about Senga getting sent down to the minors for the Mets.
Steve, do you watch Red Zone?
You guys are growing up.
Steve, do you watch Red Zone?
I do. But what I like to do is on a spot like this week. I'm a Giants fan. On a spot like this week, the Giants are actually the national game. I'll be here in Florida. I don't have the Sunday ticket. So on a spot like this, I'll have the Giants on one TV and I'll have the Red Zone on the second TV. If I can watch my team's game, that is still my preference.
That's your fix. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's my preference. Now, but I also, in the late windows, if it's not my team, I'm kind of good watching Red Zone,
right?
Because then I feel like I am getting a little feel for everything that's going on.
And
when there's 3-4 games, I don't disagree.
The 4 o'clock window is perfect for Red Zone. Listen, for Colin shaming everybody that they're not watching enough of the game. 4 o'clock is when you should put Red Zone on if you are like Colin.
I don't even disagree with that.
3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Red Zone. It is the single best hour of TV of the week.
Correct. And Steve,
it is the single best hour of TV on the week. If you watch nothing else, that 1 hour is, you have about 70% of the games there, and you're able to see so many things. Do you get the full feel for the entire game? No, but who are you to judge how people watch the games, Colin?
Steve, hang on. I don't think Colin actually watches the product. Colin, what's that hour called? If you watch
the witching hour,
okay.
You're trying to quiz me on it, Mike, please.
Because I don't think you watch the product.
And I
don't think you watch the product.
And I say you don't get a feel because you're just watching the highlights. Watch the highlights at the end of the game.
And Steve, he acts like Scott Hansen sits there and eats a bag of jelly donuts for 7
what
hours.
Agree with. So I'm not.
The guy holds in a whiz, and this topic should be the kind of topic that, when I was on the air 14 years ago, people were debating. It's here. It's been embraced. And see, people pay. The networks pay the leagues $1 billion for these rights.
Right.
Obviously, it's because people want to watch it.
Agreed. And I'm even taking a step further. Kyle's basically telling me I'm not informed enough if I'm just watching Red Zone. Completely disagree.
You don't get a full feel of the game that way. That's it. You don't get a full feel of the game.
Been watching Steve Wendy Rizzo.
What are you doing, Colin? Are you watching all the games?
I do quad.
I
usually do the Jags on one. I agree with that. I do the Jags on one, and then I'll usually do the quad.
And you get the full feel? What are your eyes?
I get the full feel of the 4 games that I'm watching, and if one game stinks, guess what? You could shift it out.
Wait. You think you get a full feel of 4 games at the same time?
Steve, there's 10 games on at once on 1 o'clock. My point being,
you have one on the audio. You only have one on the audio.
I know. Steve, there's 10-second plays. You should take a stopwatch and time how much game time is during 1 minute of play. It is 10 seconds. And then there is a timeout. There is a flag. There is an injury. You know how easy it is to just shift your eye 3 inches to determine, all right, well, this play is I see a Burger King commercial. Thank you, Steve, for that. And then I can go to the one next to it, and instead I could watch this play going on. So that's where I don't disagree. I disagree with you, Steve. I don't think that's fair to say that, I eyes peeled. Yeah, there's 2 plays going on once here and there. But, come on. It's not – football is not nonstop. It's not hockey. You can't do that with a hockey game. You can do that with a football game.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think if your audio's off, You don't have it. You
So
have
now
the
we
same
need the broadcast.
non-feel.
So, Steve,
You-
what
you
I'm
have-
hearing is you
I
only
do.
get a
I think
feel for the game with the broadcast? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm telling you, you get more of a feel on the red zone because they're switching to the audio. Yeah, sometimes they have the quad box, but at least they're going game to game with the audio. You're watching your stinking Jags, and then you got 3 other games on with no audio, and you're telling me that you get such a better feel?
No.
I don't
I got
see it.
5 games usually going. Jags obviously takes a lot of my attention because they're always playing at 1 o'clock. Fine. But the other 4, there's not 8 classics going on in the 1 o'clock slate. There's not. Never is. 7, 8, you could have 4 on there. And my opinion, that's just how I consume it. You're right. Everybody consumes it differently. How I consume it is I like watching at least 3 to 4 that I get to choose that I think, especially towards the end of the year, it's obvious which games at the 1 o'clock slate are worth of watching and which aren't. And you can do that, and then you get more of a feel that way. That's just my personal opinion because you actually see a lot of the game. When instead, on the other side, you can see all the game if you really wanted to. If this game was really intriguing, I have a computer and I got the television. The television's got the multi stuff, and the computer's got the Jags.
Well, to each his own.
Yeah,
I
is
get
that not
I don't like the
dopamine?
term.
Is that not dopamine? What you just described me, Colin?
No, because you're watching the actual play-by-play.
Okay,
You're not
right.
watching just the fantasy.
The joke of this, Colin, the joke of this is that you're making it seem like you're watching it some traditional way. And 15 years ago, you couldn't watch it that way. So, you watch it your modern way, and other people watch it their modern way.
That's fine. I'm not going tradition here. I'm not making this a traditional, the old way is the best way argument. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's social media-esque how Red Zone structures itself. There's a reason that people can't digest it. It's for the younger audience, Steve. Let's categorize what the younger audience likes. They like shorter spurts. They don't like to pay attention. They like to get the dopamine fix. None of what I'm saying is wrong. There's a reason that it's so popular. It's because it caters to the younger audience. I don't necessarily consume it that way. I don't see how you could disagree with that.
That is fact. Yes, the younger audience, I think the world has proven, attention spans have evolved. So, yeah, that is a fact. So what should you do? Not cater to that?
Steve,
deny that?
Steve,
no, I'm not saying they should burn it. I'm not saying that.
My uncle,
that's just how I do it.
My Uncle Johnny in Los Angeles is 63 years old and only gets Red Zone and swears by it.
There's the one. There he is. We found him.
One person.
We found him.
One person.
I'm not into that. I mean, I hope he'll still watch. What do you mean he only gets a Red Zone? Can't he watch Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football?
Let's put it this way. He's a miserable Cleveland fan like myself, and he says, I'm just good with the Red Zone. Says, I'm great with the Red Zone. It's got everything I need there. Kyle's high-hatting. Kyle, you're high-hatting everyone that likes Red Zone. Yes, you are.
I just said
yes, you are.
What Nick Wright said, I see what he's talking about. Because he said you can't get a full feel of the game watching it in that sense. Steve, the first thing he said is he walks in, you don't get a full feel of the game, but you get to see the action, quote-unquote. That's the first thing he said. That was my initial point.
That's not a debate. You don't get a full feel. You don't get to see the whole game. But what I was taking, what I think the audience is taking, is that you're saying that's not the right way to watch football.
Right.
That you don't get a full feel of the game.
Right,
maybe it's not the right way to do sports talk. But people, that's their choice.
Well, it's fine. I never said once. I never said once it's an incorrect way to watch football. I've said that I don't think you get a full feel for the game. I don't get you. What I said is true. You agreed with what I said. That was the first thing you did. Yeah. First thing I said was you don't get a full feel of the game watching Red Zone. Period. That's all I said. You guys wanted to convolute that to me, high-hatting, white-horsing everybody. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying you don't get a full feel of the game, and that's just what I alluded to. And I said it's a highlight-based program. It is. And it's a segmented-based short spurt program, which it is. None of what I said is wrong.
And Scott Hansen sits on his hands the whole time.
I didn't say one thing about Scott Hansen. Mike keeps bringing up the
But
fact
you're
that
acting like they're just rolling highlight after highlight with no one explaining what the hell is going on.
Well, that's exactly what it is. And then he is explaining.
He's explaining everything. They had penalties this drive. They got backed up on the one. They had the punt. They're showing you the highlight of that.
You're told that in a 10-second span. I've seen it, please. You're not acting.
I don't think I go back to you not watching the product. You're not watching the product.
Okay. Well, I haven't failed any test you've given me yet. So clearly something's up. Come on. Steve, your thoughts. Hello?
Did we lose Uncle Steve?
Wow, we might have lost Uncle
Did we
Steve.
lose Uncle Steve? Yeah, you pissed. You almost said a word. You got him angry, and he hung up on you.
Yeah, Steve,
Hi-hat
you know, the
nuts.
funny thing about Steve is Steve comes in, he agrees with my first 3 points, and then he says I'm white horsing everybody. So are you. I didn't say one thing about that. I didn't say one thing. Go check the tape. I said that it is you don't get a full feel for the game. That's all I said. You want to interpret that however you want to interpret that, fine. But the thing is it's true. It's true. That's it.
Poor Scott Hansen, man. You owe him an apology.
This has nothing to do with how he talks on the broadcast. Because him telling you what happened in the game is not the best way to digest said game.
I think he's
you really
back.
Want to get
I think Uncle Steve is back, by the way.
Steve, your thoughts. Hello.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I think what you're doing, Colin, is you're implying a judgment about a way people are supposed to watch the game. And I get it. I think you're making a societal comment, and maybe there's some things that are accurate. And is it concerning, the lessened attention span? Of course it's concerning. Steve, come to my house for 15 minutes, and you'll see with my kids. Yes, of course, there are some concerns to it. But there is also a benefit that technology today does allow you to consume more. I'm so darn old. I mean, I can still remember like the first time you'd be seeing highlights. You know, back in the day was Monday nights, and like people would wait for Monday Night Football to see the highlights of what happened everything else. So I get how things have evolved, but also we've allowed sports gambling. There's fantasy. Like, there are different ways to consume it today. That's the league's issue, to figure out what the right balance is. And that's why the league still play the full games, because people want to see, or still broadcast the full game, because some people want to see that. Colin, you know this. There are multiple entities. You can go to MLB.tv, MLB.com, and you can watch an entire MLB game in 5 minutes after the game's over. I do that sometimes, because I don't have 3 hours to watch a game. In fact, I would say that nobody watches baseball games for 3 hours, even the deepest of baseball fans like myself and you. So the world is changing. Change with it.
Stop hi-hatting.
So I need to just start watching Red Zone. Is that what I'm saying? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, you do what you want, but don't judge the people that are watching Red Zone and consider that their complete football experience, because they don't want to watch, the whole Jag game with no audio on, and then to be able to have.
You're big on the audio. You're big on hearing Spiro Ditas, and Adam Archuleta. I can't listen to that. You can't tell me that Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta give you that much out of the game. I'm not listening to that, Steve.
You're employed by audio. What do you mean I'm big on audio?
You are big on video. You're talking about how you don't even know what's going on in the game. You have your eyes. You watch the play. You don't need to hear. If I could have had without Chris Collinsworth's audio last night, it didn't make a difference in my interpretation of the game.
Hang on. That was a good broadcast last night. You're dead wrong there.
Tirico screwed up the guy's name 17 times. It was not a great broadcast.
I think audio and video together are better.
Tirico calls a great game. Names are hard. Kyle, we get names wrong. You and I get names wrong more than anybody in the business.
Hey, hold on. You should check his salary. He screwed up Jalen Hurts' name about 17 different times last night. Come on.
He did?
I didn't hear this.
Oh, you didn't hear this.
What
were you doing instead?
Listening to the broadcast.
Oh, right.
What did he call him?
He called him Prescott when the Eagles were on offense, like 4 different times.
I miss that.
I did too.
Okay. Really?
And I had the audio on.
I did too, Steve. It's okay. Kyle's
Steve,
Steve,
this proves my point.
He's gatekeeping.
If you guys missed this,
Steve, Collins.
Mr. Audio missed it. Wow.
He's Uncle Steve.
We got to have some conversations.
He's gatekeeping. He's playing gatekeeper today. Fair play to him.
Gatekeeping? You're more than welcome to do it that way,
It's all right. It's all right. You're gatekeeping.
And then the other reason on top, he doesn't like that there's advertising now. That's going to be a part of it, obviously. And
Steve,
it's just this piling on. Where do you think the money comes from to hand the networks or to hand the league hundreds of millions of dollars?
Hold on. Here's the thing about Red Zone. If there's one thing that Red Zone promises, what do they say at the beginning of the program? 7 hours of what? Commercial-free football. And that is changing now, Steve.
It's very extremely limited ad load, and I'm not at all surprised. Netflix has added advertising. Everything has a degree because something has to pay for this, Colin. Something has to pay, and when you capture the attention of attentive fans who then maybe have a chance to go ahead and patronize, a product like the world works. Nothing's wrong with that. What is wrong with that? Yes, they have to change the copy that they can't say commercial free, but otherwise, what's wrong with it?
Patronizing? Is that what it was? Was that what I was doing?
You're gatekeeping. You're hi-hatting. Whatever acronym you wanted to slide in there.
All I said is you don't get a feel for the game. That's it. That's all I said.
You're doing it the right way, though.
That's how I'm doing it my way.
Look, if you guys
I never said my way was the
free,
right way. I had a conclusion about Red Zone, and I said
point.
how I do it. I have a conclusion about Red Zone. I said the conclusion was I don't think you get the full feel for the game. I think it's built for fantasy. And then my second was how I do it. And I watch 4 games at once. So that's all I said. And you guys just drew all these other conclusions that never came out of my mouth. So that's not fair. So I'm not listening to that. I'm not taking that. That's not fair. Steve, your thoughts? Hello? What's going on at Duffy's, Steve?
I was going to say, because I think you're blowing past the top of the hour, which means you're blowing past the legal ID, which means you're putting our license.
Hold on, Steve.
You're putting our license.
I got to hear what's going on with Duffy's.
You're putting the license at risk, Kyle.
No. I want to hear.
Tell me about the award-winning burgers.
See, I would have thrown in a verbal. But, all right, kick off football season at Duffy's this weekend with the ultimate tailgate party. How sick is it? You know what? At Duffy's, it doesn't matter. You can do audio on, you can do audio off. They have all the games. It doesn't really matter. You watch your football however you want at Duffy's. The difference is versus watching it at home, you get the 2-for-1 drinks, the games, and more. How about the new football roster? Barbecued pulled pork nachos, hand-cut tortilla chips, slow-cooked pork shoulder, Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, barbecue rub, creamy queso blanco, crispy onions, and jalapenos. Duffy's Double Smash Burger. And there's so many things to pick from. Let me see what I'm going to go with that. How about the touchdown tots? Buffalo chicken or cheeseburger tots. Colin probably doesn't like some of these because they're more modern ways.
Right. He's gatekeeping. Steve, he's gatekeeping.
These are all conclusions that you guys came to on your own accord. These are all conclusions that you guys came to on your own accord.
A hamburger only. Of course, the 2-for-1 drinks all day. By the way, Duffy's has the award-winning burger, so they got you covered there. What's your favorite game at Duffy's Sports Grill on their 80 TVs? The ultimate tailgate party this Sunday. Well, football is back, which means that Duffy's, our game is always on.
Appreciate it, Steve. As always, the award-winning burgers. You know what? They are pretty classy.
Thanks, Steve. Uncle Steve, thanks for setting them straight for me, partner.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in Sunday morning for the annual, the weekly Colin Jags for
you. Want to talk about somebody who's a phony about that? Is Steve Palazzino listens about maybe one minute of it a week, and for some reason he tunes in whenever the Jags are being brought up, and there are weeks where the Jags are never brought up, and then he draws a conclusion from the entire program that we led with Jags and finished with Jags. That's where Steve is dead wrong. So and he knows that too. That's the funniest part. Steve?
Yeah, it's one more minute, and I should probably listen to. But I'll give you another shot this Sunday.
Thanks, Steve.
Not doing it this Sunday, so you're gonna have to listen.
Steve, best of luck to your Giants, partner.
Bye, Steve.
And best of luck to Colin in the triathlon.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Steve
Palazzino. Iron Man.
He's taking it out on us. He's nervous, and he's taking it out on everyone who watches Red Zone.
You guys just drew your own conclusion. That's fine. That was Steve Palazzino, the Good Karma Brands president, the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. That's Mike Rizzo. We'll loop in Damien Perez, do a little 5 at 5 on the flip side of Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today. Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Now, I can't be the only one thinking with football season basically here. I got to make sure I have all my ducks in a row because I want to sit down and watch the games comfortably throughout each weekend.
Hey, it's Colin Russo, and Cassidy AC is here to help you hit that big score against Florida's Heat and the hurricane season. Here's what you need to know. When a big storm's on deck, flip the breaker and shut off your AC to avoid power surge damage. Even if you want extra protection, you could call Cassidy and ask about surge protection before Mother Nature throws her next big score at you. If your ducks are not in order and you need to make a big change, Cassidy's offering $500 off of new installs, plus monthly payments starting at just $92 with special financing. Cassidy's been Palm Beach County's trusted closer since 1960. Remember, 90% of breakdowns on units under 10 years could have been prevented with regular maintenance. Don't be caught in 90-degree heat in your living room when you're trying to watch a big-time football game on a Saturday night. Don't be that guy. I've been there before. Thanks to Cassidy, I'll never be there again. Visit CassidyAC.com today. That's Cassidy AC, keeping you cool game after game.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia. Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Football season is here, and the ultimate game day headquarters is Twin Peaks. Whether it's college Saturdays or NFL Sundays, catch every kickoff, every touchdown, every Hail Mary right here at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is delivering all the winning plays. Looking for a stronger lineup? No one does game day like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, come for the game, stay for the experience.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. Outdoers get more done.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Second hour of Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. You got Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Damian Perez. Damian Perez and Mike Rizzo are at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach on a Friday edition of the program. I am up north. ESPN Madison, gracious enough to host me. Good to see all those folks again at 100.5 up here on the north side. You got a packed slate of football throughout the weekend. You got a college slate tomorrow, which closes things out with Michigan-Oklahoma as the ranked matchup of the week. On the nightcap, you got USF-Florida. You also have Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers going head-to-head tonight in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The second experiment of the Brazil game. You had the Eagles take down the Cowboys last night in the opening game in the NFL season, 24-20. Post-weather delay, about an hour in the third quarter that we had to stop play. And you also have a full slate on Sunday, which you catch a lot of them right here on ESPN 106.3. Mike and Damian are sitting in it. If you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar at Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys are here to fight for you. The Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios right there in West Palm, but they don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes is that one phone call to take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for that free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Damian Perez is our producer at the City Place Studios. Damian, are you a Red Zone watcher?
I am. I'm an avid Red Zone watcher.
So you're a huge Red Zone guy yourself.
Yep.
Nothing but.
Actually, no, I'll split screen the Dolphins game because I'm a Dolphins fan, but on that main TV, I will have Red Zone.
So you'll do classic setup where you watch your team and then you do Red Zone the other.
Yeah, but I do prioritize Red Zone mainly because of fantasy, I'll be honest.
Okay. Interesting. Let's bounce around a little bit. Let's do a little 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU Athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Mike Rizzo filling in for Christian Cat on the 5 at 5. Football is back last night with the Cowboys visiting the Eagles. Dak Prescott throwing for 188 yards. Jalen Hurts rushing for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Out of those 188 yards, CeeDee Lamb caught 110 of them from Dak. But that isn't the story. The story is how the receiver failed Dak, how Miles Sanders was unable to outrun a freaking linebacker. Colin, where you at post the 24-20 win the Eagles had over the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football to bring back the NFL season?
Both teams played well, weirdly enough. Both teams offensively, I thought they showed you a lot more than you'd think in week 1, when usually they're still trying to work out the kinks. But that weather delay kind of, was acted as a barrier to, any sort of momentum offensively. But Dallas did not make the right plays to win the game towards the end. They had a chance to put them away more than once, and they couldn't do it. And the Eagles, on the other hand, played a winning football game. It's written by the victors, and if the Dallas ended up scoring on that Miles Sanders play and nobody scored the rest of the game, we were reacting to a 27-20 Dallas Cowboy victory, we'd be having a way different tune about Jalen Hurts and the efficiency of that offense with no A.J. Brown getting 1 reception through the entire game. We'd have a totally different tune, but that's football. It's built on specific plays. Cowboys didn't make them. Number 2.
Number 2.
Now, the godsend of the NFL, Micah Parsons, according to some. Packers are listing Micah Parsons as questionable to face the Lions. Colin is the godsend of the NFL and the greatest player of all time. Micah Parsons, is he going to play against the Lions coming up on Sunday?
I don't know if he's going to play. All right, you want to talk about being high and mighty here. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Micah Parsons
I'm gatekeeping this. He's not even the best
All-Pro.
Not even the best defensive player in the league. And we
the other best defensive player is 30. He's 30. Micah Parsons is 26. Keep that in mind. Yeah?
Not the best defensive player like how some of them are making him out to be. I forgot that the Cowboys were allowed to play football without Micah Parsons. But Kyle, trolling aside, is Micah going to play? Your best guess.
I would guess they're going to play him sparingly. Get him on the field, get him a feel, maybe third down opportunities, whatever it might be. That would be my prediction. I don't know enough about his back issue to make an educated guess, but I would say if he is capable of at least being limited, they'll just use him on third down. That would be my takeaway.
And this is from Rob Demovsky, who covers the Packers. Said
for ESPN.com, yeah.
It said Parsons made it through all 4 practices on a limited basis in his first week with the Packers and was officially listed as questionable.
That tells you that he's probably going to sparingly, right?
Yeah.
Third downs.
Yeah,
that would be when you see Micah Parsons on the field. I would guess. Maybe I'm wrong. I have a hard time seeing them sit out of a big game at Lambeau, first game of the year, when he's right there.
You mentioned I love dopamine, Kyle. I'm going to get a serious rush of dopamine when the Detroit Lions smack him in the face.
Number 3.
All right, sticking with football. Kyle, let's rewind about a month and a half ago where Cam Hayward kind of threw a fit about his contract. He wanted to get paid kind of top-tier money for the position. Cam Hayward, in his old age last year, had really a career year. Was able to play very well for that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, which features one of the better players on the defensive end in J.J. Watt. But apparently he is preparing to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers after sitting out majority of the offseason and the preseason. Is he, I guess, cut from the same cloth here on the Parsons deal, is he going to play, but for different reasons?
I mean, that's a 37. One's a 26-year-old. He could afford sitting a few games out. The other one, I think Hayward's, what is he, 37? I want to say 36.
He's on the older end, and you got to give him credit though. He had a great season. I kind of thought it was fool's gold him sitting out, Colin. I didn't know they were never giving him a contract. He signed that contract the year before.
Last year.
It was the year before he had the big deal. I don't want to say you should have bet on yourself, but I don't know, mate. This never made sense to me. And
you can't renegotiate every 5 seconds. You can't do that.
And that drives me up a wall. You
can't renegotiate every 5 seconds.
Number 4.
Now flipping the switch over to the college side. People are saying a bad slate on the college football side, Colin. Outside of that Michigan and Oklahoma game, is anything sticking out to you in particular with some of these matchups coming up tomorrow as we kind of switch gears? My gosh, we got NFL yesterday. We got NFL tonight. And now we're going to be switching gears back to college on Saturday. Is there anywhere on the noon slate, the 3 slate, and the late slate that you're keeping an eye on?
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's a bye week. It's a bye game week. So it's all other than the tough out of conferences, which people usually get out of the way week 1. Week 2 is when they schedule their tune-up week before conference play really begins next week. So I sit here and say that Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin is by no means going to be, mayhem at the Meadowlands. But it's going to be a game that I have my eye on. I'm going to be not in the building, but I'm going to be in the city of Madison. I'll get a feel for it. I'll be at the ESPN Madison game day tailgate. So I'll see the pulse of the team. And if ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is going on live there with Jesse Nelson, Brad Nortman and company, and Adam Mertz, I'm going to go on and rain on the parade and say that Wisconsin's in a lot of trouble.
Those are your guys, though. Those are your guys, mate. You did that show, yeah.
But it's optimist's corner. That's how the Wisconsin fan operates. They're all super optimistic. I get that. Let me be the pessimist of the group. That would be my takeaway.
Now, Kyle,
Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin is the game I'm looking at.
Let me give you a couple of games that I think it can surprise some people. Now, Illinois is the 11th ranked team in the country. I hope that they're actually the 11th ranked team in the country, being Big Ten Mike and covering them for 3 years in Peoria. But they played Duke on the road. I think we're going to find out who Illinois. I think we're going to find out if they're a top 11, top 10 team in the country on the road against Duke. You got the battle of the Iowas, Iowa and Iowa State. Once again, as Big Ten Mike, I'm rooting hard for Iowa, but we know Matt Campbell, hell of a coach at Iowa State.
It's always a pretty good game, too.
And Iowa State, actually the ranked team in that. Baylor got punched in the mouth by Auburn last week. They're taking on ranked SMU at SMU. Should be a good one. Believe it or not, we do have SEC play this weekend. Ole Miss and Kentucky. Lane Kiffin going on the road to Coach Stoops over there in Lexington, and then obviously Michigan and Oklahoma. I think this week might surprise a couple of people. I think usually when we say, oh, it's a boring week, something crazy happens. And I do want to watch Alabama, Colin. Believe it or not, they're gonna beat UL Monroe by about 40 points. But I think DeBoer wants to get on the field as soon as possible. I'll tell you what, a guy named Legend, go back and watch the Paul Feinbaum show. Guy named Legend called into the Paul Feinbaum show. I actually made Damian Perez, our producer here today at the City Place Studios, listen to it. Dame, you were laughing hysterically with me with Legend talking about Kalen DeBoer.
Do not mess with Alabama fans. That's all they got, and that was a passionate rant.
Colin, in a nutshell, and then we're going to move on to number 5. He said, I'm not saying I hate yo butt, but if you were on life support, I'd pull the plug to charge my phone.
Number 5.
Wow.
Bama fans are a mess. All right, Kyle, very simple. Number 5. You ready? You ready for your Iron Man? I mean, listen, you were at the frat house last night, had a couple of brewskis. Tonight, I'm assuming you're going to be taking it easy, watching some football, watching the Sao Paulo game. Has it settled in? Has it settled in over there in Madison as you take on a full Iron Man?
You know what my plan is? So weirdly enough, I'll watch. I'll be able to watch hopefully most of the second half of the game. I'm going to be with us here at ESPN 106.3 doing ESPN West Palm High School game day.
I knew that.
Remotely. And I got 2 sleeves of bagels next to me. That's going to be my carbs for the night. And then my mother just got into town, so I don't know if I'll see her tonight, but we'll play that by ear.
Yeah.
And I got my 2 sleeves of bagels and some high school football in the Palm Beach County area. That's
awesome. And I apologize. I actually knew that. That's on your producer. Tell your mother I said hello, by the way, and hope to see her soon. That was the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
Well, if you really are a fan, you can open up the ESPN app. And if you really want to get a fix, get a feel, there's no better way to get a feel on the new and improved ESPN app, which is just announced and launched. Their direct-to-consumer content you can subscribe today, not included in cable subscriptions. What it is you open up your ESPN app. It's basically customized towards you. You can do multi-view with multiple games at once. That's how I like to watch it. You can watch all the TV shows, whether that's SportsCenter with Van Pelt, that's First Take, that's College Game Day. Basically, the whole 30 for 30 library is there, and every single game with every affiliate network of ESPN. It's all in one spot. That means you got softball, college basketball, you got the NBA, NHL, you got Monday Night Football, you got it all in one spot. And they thought of everything because you go to the bottom right, you press the Verts feature, and if you really are a fan of your teams and you want to see what's going on with your teams, set your favorites on the app, and then boom, scroll. Here's what happened in the Jags game. Boom, scroll. Here's what happened in the Wisconsin game. Boom, scroll. UConn basketball fix. Here's your update there. They got it all covered. It's catered to you. It's customized to you. That's the new ESPN app. Sign up today. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez. Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Colin.
The annual Boca Raton Bowl ABC Supply
Mike
Company
said
Great
cover
Chefs
5 minutes.
Tailgate Showcase heats up on Wednesday, September 10th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, at Boca Raton Innovation Campus in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve up their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. It includes all food samplings, beer, wine, cocktails, and soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. Tonight, high school game day is coming to your city. We are on campus for Jupiter at Palm Beach Gardens. Pregame starts at 6 here on ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Okay, we have to talk about the new ESPN app. The most live sports, the best championship moments, and so much more. Monday Night Football, college football, NBA, WNBA, NHL, NWSL, college football, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, lacrosse, and the list goes on and on. Plus, shows like SportsCenter with SVP, First Take with Stephen A., College Game Day, and the entire 30 for 30 library. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Sign up now.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
"Hey, Culligan man!"
Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. Damian Perez is our producer today instead of Christian Cat. Christian Cat will be on the call tonight for Jupiter Palm Beach Gardens, our ESPN West Palm High School game of the week. You can catch that right after 6:30 kickoff. We'll take you up until then. But in the meantime, we got some NFL action tonight, and you got some sports throughout the weekend. More importantly, if you open up your ESPN app, you press that little TV icon in the top left, and you can see what's going on throughout ESPN, and it's basically the Where to Watch feature. What is Where to Watch? Well, if you don't know what is specifically on ESPN or where you could watch certain sporting events, whatever it might be, you check out there, and they got everything right in front of you in one spot. This includes football, this includes basketball, this includes tennis. You got Novak Djokovic right now going against Carlos Alcaraz in the U.S. Open. Mike, that is my game that I am keeping an eye on my Where to Watch feature.
They haven't paywalled that because it's football season?
No, they have not. They have not. They've hung around on that.
Love it. You can find it on that ESPN app, baby.
Find on the ESPN app on the Where to Watch feature. We got football tonight, of course. We got the Los Angeles Chargers, technically as the home team against the Kansas City Chiefs over in Sao Paulo, 7 p.m. That's a YouTube game tonight.
Yeah.
So something different for the NFL. You think YouTube, as a YouTube connoisseur yourself, you think that they're going to do a halfway decent job?
Oh, God, they're going to kill it. They're going to have millions of people in that YouTube chat tonight. Millions.
Well, you don't think anything's going to happen?
No, it'll be all right. YouTube's the best platform. That's why we do our shows. We stream our shows on YouTube as well. Obviously, you listen on the ESPN South Florida app. That's how you should be listening. But listen, I love YouTube.
You think YouTube's going to do a good job?
Brother,
I mean, it's not just millions. 15, 20 million people at least are going to be watching. 30 million people.
They usually do a good job on things like this. And I know it's the kiss of death. But you're talking to somebody who was watching YouTube at its birth with the Boxman's Christmas back in 2006. Okay, it'll be just fine. YouTube will be just fine.
You think Kansas City's going to win tonight?
So I'm in a predicament. Listen, I love high school football, and I'm covering high school football tonight. But I'm going to try not to get it spoiled. Let's put it that way. I'm going to try to I'm going to try to go home. I'm trying to get home by about 9:30. Game's probably going to be in the fourth quarter, and I'm going to restart. And I'm going to watch it start to finish. And yes, Kansas City will win. Kansas City will win because in a weird international game like this, Colin, you trust defense and you trust the quarterback. I trust Kansas City's defense and I trust Kansas City's quarterback more than the Chargers. And I apologize to all my Charger fans out there. Karma's coming for Harbaugh this year, so I would definitely take the under on the Chargers this year.
Karma's coming for what?
For cheating and getting away with it.
At Michigan.
And getting away with it. So I feel bad. I feel bad for Charger fans out there. But regardless, that's a bit of trolling. But realistically, Herbert's a great quarterback. Chargers a pretty darn good team. Harbaugh, good coach. I still lean Reed, Kansas City defense, and Mahomes. I thought last night was going to be low scoring. Granted, it was because of the weather delay. Kyle, I think if the weather delay doesn't happen, those teams keep scoring. I'd probably still go Chiefs with the 3 and under. I went Cowboys with the 8 and the under last night. I'm going to go Chiefs the favorite tonight with the 3 and the under, according to our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. It's at that 47 as well. We'll make our 47 as well.
We'll make our picks when we blitz the book next.
But sorry, long-winded answer to your question. Sorry, I can't stand Harbaugh, Kyle. You know that. Chiefs tonight, and I think it's because of their experience in playing in big games like this.
888-760-3776. Chiefs, Chargers tonight. Who do you think will remain victorious? At the YouTube game, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., excuse me, is the kickoff for that one Eastern time. I'm in Central time.
No, you're good. You're good.
But the game about the thing I'm curious about the Chiefs, and I'm not sure if you'll see it tonight. You'll probably see it throughout the point of the season. Is how are they going to respond to being the runner-up? You know, you've seen it before with the Chiefs. The year they lost to Tampa Bay. And the year following, I believe, was the Stafford year that he beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And then that was a year that the Chiefs didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then
2021.
Right. And the following year is when the Chiefs sort of regrouped. I'm not saying that was a bad season by any stretch from the Chiefs, but that runner-up syndrome for NFL teams is very real. It happened to the San Francisco 49ers. Last year, they got hit with it was an injury bug, but they got hit with an injury bug and had to change some things, and they never really could get out from underneath. And the Eagles before that, who were the runner-up when they lost to the Chiefs that first time around, they, on the other hand, lost both coordinators, and they sort of were scrambling. They had a great start to the season, but in Eagles standards, in terms of how good that team was, they had a disappointing season. Even the year before that is when the Niners were shifting into Brock Purdy, and that's when they were trying to get Brock Purdy. That was his first year of resurgence. So that was an interesting year for them as well. The syndrome of the runner-up team, I wonder if the Chiefs are going to be immune to it.
Well, and if there's a team to do it, I think it could be Reed and Mahomes and company, just because they've won so many times. Colin, they've still been to four straight Super Bowls now?
Three straight,
apologies, but have really made it deep in the AFC year in and year out. I think I go back to what I said to you on Monday. The AFC is as open as it's been for a long time because of what happened in that Super Bowl. I think a lot of these teams smell blood. I think teams like Baltimore know, hey, you're probably never going to fire Harbaugh, but are you ever going to get over that hurdle? We talked about Coach McDermott. I think that is actually a coach that might the Buffalo Bills might move on from if they're unable to get to a Super Bowl this year. I feel like it's make or break for a couple of these coaches and a couple of these players and some of the core of the players on these other AFC teams. Colin, if these teams realistically lose again, you talk about retooling a lot. I think that's exactly what they're going to need to do. They might need to get rid of some players. They might need to get rid of some staffers if they're unable to get past the Kansas City Chiefs this year, because I think this is the most vulnerable this team has been since they became the Chiefs and started this run. I urge these AFC teams to take advantage of it too.
Well, hold on. We've fallen for the same trick for like 3 years running.
Though.
Everybody's assumed
Doesn't it
that
seem
the
a
Chiefs
little
were going to. Well, because we saw them get blown out, but we've always been under the impression, oh, this is finally the year. Reed's retiring.
Kyle, to be honest,
old.
I kind of haven't. I kind of haven't until that Super Bowl moment.
Right.
And I think, you know how big I am.
The perception of the Chiefs is we're sort of, a la the Patriots, we were like, oh, they can't do it again. They can't do it again. And then they do it again. And then they do it again. That's where I get nervous about them. I almost have to see it before I could believe it. And I don't know if one game Super Bowl where they get blown out is enough for me to start believing.
I think what's the difference with the Patriots, they did it, Kyle, they went on 2 runs, right? Damn near 3 runs with Tom Brady and Belichick. I don't think we'll ever, with all due respect to Reed and Mahomes, I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Andy Reid's got a foot out the door as it is. I think this could be the last hoorah for said Kelsey and Reid this year. So maybe Mahomes is able to do it with the newer coach and do what the Patriots did and win in multiple decades. But I tend to believe, man, that if Reid and the whole thing steps away, is Mahomes going to be able to do it again. I hate to question him because
he's there this year. So at the very least, he's going to see this year.
But what I'm saying, Kyle, is I think this is finally the year. I haven't been on it. I haven't been, this is Kansas City's done. I've not been that guy until this year. And I do think that another AFC team will be representing the conference this year. I do. Am I putting the cart before the horse? Probably. And is Kansas City probably going to win convincingly tonight, like how they usually do in these ridiculous international big-time games? Most likely, because they're the more veteran team. But I do think one of these guys in Jackson or Burrow or Allen, I truly think this is the year that they could get to the game. You saw Burrow do it in 2021. I just think it's different now because of everything that has changed surrounding the Chiefs. But interested to hear what you got to say on it.
I would lean on the side that this is going to be another dogfight tonight. That those divisional matchups in that division, AFC West, are always dogfights. So I would lean on that again. In the international game, I understand, but I mean, it's going to be a weird field. The field that the Packers and the Eagles both hated last year. It's going to be sort of that scrappy type of game. If there's a game that I thought the Eagles and the Cowboys were going to be yesterday, I think that's probably going to be today, where offense is maybe taking a little bit to get going. I don't think you're going to see guys firing on all cylinders immediately, sort of figuring each other out. Slower scoring to start, maybe picking up towards the latter half. That's where I would lean. And in terms of winning the game, I have to see it until I start believing it. I don't necessarily think seeing the Eagles beating the Chiefs the way they did in the Super Bowl was enough for me to believe, because the game before that, they took the Bills, and it was the Bills' year. It always was. The Bills' year in the final 32-29 when Allen even had a chance. I mean, they did that the game before. So I see what you're saying. It's got all good things. What comes up always has to come down. You got to assume that it's going to happen eventually. But until I see it with my own 2 eyes in the regular season, I will not believe it. I will lean Chiefs tonight, but in a dogfight. This is 1917 written all over it. That would be my takeaway. And if you have a certain inkling about this game and you want to get started, you could go over to Cover 5, go download it on the App Store. What is Cover 5? Well, Cover 5 is a way to pick games against myself and Rizzo and against Christian Cat and Theo Dorsey and Theoretically Speaking. Theoretically Speaking is one team, Russo and Rizzo is another team, and you, the fan, make up all the other teams in the league. You just got to go to Cover 5, create an account. It's free to join. Find our league at ESPN West Palm and use code MVP. 2025 MVP 2025 to join the league. How it works is you pick 5 games against the spread. And that means if the Chiefs tonight are favored by 3.5 points, if Kansas City comes out and wins by 20 points, you get 17. Mike and I took the Cowboys getting 8. They lost by 4. We have a 4.5 point lead tonight. Correct. Because that was our difference in how much we made the pick. It's not just winning the bet, it's how much you win or lose the bet buy. That's why that's fun.
If I can too, Kyle, theoretically speaking, faded us, they're negative 4.5. So
you could go into the negatives, and if you win,
go down.
And it's week by week. So if you win a certain week, if you beat Mike and myself, if you beat theoretically speaking, you get a $25 Duffy's gift card if you do it. That's weekly. And if Mike and I win one week, you get entered into an opportunity to get a $25 gift card, and it carries over. That's how fun it's going to be throughout the whole season. That's on Cover 5. The league name is ESPN West Palm. Check it out there. Mike and I will blitz the book next with Hard Rock Bet. That's on the flip side. That, more, and a bunch of high school football coming up on the flip side. It's Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
2025 Florida football ticket packages are on sale now. Don't miss any of the 6 home games, including the home opener on August 30th versus Long Island, the SEC home opener versus Texas on October 4th, and Senior Day versus Florida State on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com and secure your seat for all the action only in the Swamp.
The season is kicking off. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS is trusted as the MVP, and it has been since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMITTED.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, for a change, we got plenty to choose from in terms of what games to select as we enter into the weekend. First weekend of September officially, and there's a lot of games on the docket, on the slate. Looking forward to making a couple picks there. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. If you missed any of the program, you want to listen back, go to Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. You can listen to it back in full. Let's blitz the book, presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Blitz the book, Hard Rock Bet. Download that app today on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Mike and I got to put together a little bit of a parlay here. Mike, now I'm in Wisconsin. I do not have the Hard Rock Bet app available to me, so you're going to need to kind of carry the torch here in terms of putting this together. What type of picks are you interested in? Is anything screaming out to you that you want to jump on right now?
Out of any of the college games, Colin, that I mentioned.
College first, okay.
Illinois and Duke, do you have a feel on that? Are you buying the Illini this year? Is there anything that screams to you about Illinois and Duke coming up on Saturday?
I wouldn't have an inkling on where I think that game's going to go. But what are they favored by? 2.5, 3.5?
Yep.
It's on the road. It's an early game. If anything, that screams trap to me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, so you think Duke plus 2.5?
I mean, but it's not big enough of a line, but that's a road game second week of the year. I don't know enough about Duke.
You don't think they can win by 3? Luke Altmaier? You're not buying into Luke Altmaier and Brett Bielema?
That's fine. But Illinois, they always have a game like that. I don't know if Illinois is going to be – are they going to be 11-0? I mean –
it's usually do a Big Ten opponent. They got Ohio State in Champaign. They're not winning that game.
I would take Iowa plus 3.5. That's what I would take.
Okay. So let's take Iowa plus 3.5 on the road. Iowa State.
The jet lag is going to have to hit the Cyclones eventually. Let's bet on this week. So I like that. No problem there. And in terms of the other ones, how about the teams that lost last week in terms of having a dominant performance? You think Texas will cover 36.5 against San Jose State?
I want all that smoke. I want Texas. I'd even think about Alabama 35.5. After hearing Legend on the Paul Feinbaum show, that guy needs that. DeBoer needs to win.
I would say the bounce back week is a cool theme that we should follow. Yeah, I agree with that. So we can take both those teams and add them into the parlay if you'd like. No problem.
Okay. All right. While I'm adding that, Kyle, think about a couple of NFL picks for me.
All right. Let's do the last one. Do you want to do Michigan, Oklahoma? Oklahoma's favored in this game by about four so points.
I can't bet Michigan. So can we take?
All right,
Oklahoma?
if we're split on one side, handcuffed there, I would say stay away from.
Okay, stay away because I'm not taking Michigan.
Fair enough. Let's shift to the NFL. You want to do tonight's game?
Yeah, I would like to take the Chiefs. I darn near take the Chiefs at 3, and you like the under 2. So
I would take the under, not the Chiefs. I would take the under.
Okay. So let's.
Because I think the Chargers are going to keep this close.
By the way, I added our college picks. So it's Bama minus 35.5, Texas minus 36.5, Iowa plus 3.5, and now we want to add the under to the game tonight in Sao Paulo.
All right, yeah, and let's add one more of the full Sunday slate. Anything that's screaming to you that you like. I mean, we like Denver. We already made our picks.
All right. Well, listen. A game that we didn't take that I want to take with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. Tampa -1. It's a pick 'em. Listen.
Down the road, it's a divisional matchup. I understand.
I am down on Atlanta. If I'm crazy here, if I'm missing something, please let me know. But I think Tampa Bay can win by 2 scores. I do. I'm not a Michael. Something stinks in Atlanta. I have a bad taste in my mouth.
Weirdly enough, that's a home game for Atlanta. It's the first game of the year. The last time they played was against Tampa Bay, and they lost. I'm okay with taking Tampa Bay here just because it's a pick 'em. I do not think that would be
all right, then what's
big. No, that's fine. I'm okay with this pick. I'm okay with this pick.
Okay, because I think Tampa, very high on Tampa this year. I am. I know the NFC, is loaded with the West and the East and even the North. But I think the one team in that South Division are the Buccaneers. And I think they could possibly win a playoff game this year. I'm high on them. I took that over, Kyle. I think they're over under. They're over under with their good friends at Hard Rock Bet. I got it 9.5 months ago.
They usually draft pretty well. I mean, they're trying to find some health at the receiver position. Evans has always been Mr. Reliable, but Godwin's been in and out, always has been, but they draft well. So, Jalen McMillan was a good ad last year. You don't know what Emeka Egbuka can do. I don't hate this. Bucky Irving was a great 4th-round steal last year. They lost their offensive coordinator for the 2nd year in a row. So keep that in mind. But I don't. They play hard for Bulls. There's no doubt. Nobody's doubting that. So I don't hate that.
That's 20 to win 468 with what we have. Bama minus 35.5. Texas minus 36.5. We're playing into these teams bouncing back theme. We got Iowa plus 3.5 against Iowa State. We have the under 47.5 tonight. Sao Paulo, Chargers and Chiefs.
19-17.
And then Buccaneers -1. Pick them basically against the Falcons. 20 to win 468.
You got to put some thought. I mean, the one thing about that Buccaneer game is you're right. The Buccaneers are better than the Falcons. But the fact that it's basically a pick 'em should tell you something. Vegas knows. Vegas knows.
I think
you're not taking advantage of Vegas.
I still have the bad taste in my mouth of Raheem Morris and the lack of clock management and the fumbling of Kirk Cousins, giving him that guaranteed money and then begging
that has nothing to do with Raheem Morris, but yes.
But it's everything to do with the Falcons. I'm just saying, mate, I'm not a fan of that team. Not a fan of that team.
If I had to place a bet on a team to fire their coach midseason, I would bet on Atlanta right now.
Now, he's been there for a year. He's going to get
I mean,
this
he's
year.
been there before, too. He was the interim, so keep that in mind.
I think he'll get this year. I think he'll get this full year, pending, them having 3 wins in the month at the end of November and the beginning of December.
Yeah, if that team with all that talent, especially offensively, and they put so much assets, especially in the draft and the offseason, if they stink, if they're not that very good.
They traded a first-rounder to get another edge rusher. They traded back into the first round to get an edge rusher.
They got 2 edge rushers in this year's draft, so we'll see what happens there. But on Monday, make your prediction now. What do you think our big storyline is going to be? A big surprise of week 1. You think there will be one?
Yeah. What do you think? Come on, Kyle. What am I fading? What have I been fading? What have I been fading all week this week?
You think it's going to be the Packers losing?
Absolutely.
You think that's not going to be a big shocker, though.
Yes, it is. What do you mean? They're the greatest team of all time. Just give them the Lombardi Trophy already.
It's a point spread against a team that went 0-2 against.
Dude, they got the best player ever in Micah Parsons, man. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the Lions to win that game.
It's funny because what are you trying to do there? Are you trying to demean Micah Parsons' resume?
No, I could not stand everybody with a microphone in front of them just completely lambasting the Cowboys. I couldn't stand it. I still think they got a great haul. I'm still on it. I'm still on 2 first-round picks are good, mate. I don't care who you are. I don't care what team. You're gonna have 4 draft picks in 2 years in the first round. It's amazing.
What do you think the odds that any of those 2 players get 1 Pro Bowl? I mean, All Pro in their
It's happened.
Their
it's happened before with Jerry. So I'm not. Listen,
that's fine. The odds are slim. That's it. Slim.
Just give them. But yeah, the whole just give the Packers the trophy already. I can't wait for them to lose, and I can't wait for Jordan Love to look mortal. I think
that's the big. I've been in the office. The big pressing question is whether he's mortal or not, and whether he.
Oh, they're not drinking the Kool-Aid. I thought he was the greatest quarterback ever.
If people are high on him, they think it's still. Do we think he's the guy? That's the conversation that they're still having.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. I think the Lions win, and I think Parsons plays minimally to what you said during the 5-5, couple pass rushing situations. And I can't wait for Overreaction Monday for everyone to take back the preseason Lombardi Trophy. We give the team the preseason Lombardi every single year. It's the Packers this year, and I can't wait for them to have to give that back. Similar to how people were saying that Arch has to give his preseason Heisman back. I think that's
the Packers this year.
Oh yeah, they got the preseason Lombardi. All they needed was that pass rusher, and Jerry Jones is an idiot. That's what I had to listen to for 5 days this week on Sports Talk.
I think, were you just upset with the fact that everybody disagreed with you, in your opinion?
No, I just I think people unfairly go after Jerry Jones. I thought that was a situation like that. I thought it was.
Unfairly. You got to give Dallas a little bit of credit. They played hard last night. So whether that's a Schottenheimer shout, and the offense, they put themselves in an opportunity to win the game. That's all you could ask for. A Dallas Cowboy fan would have signed up for that type of game. Now, they wouldn't have signed up for, kind of letting it slip through their hands, but they're signing up for that type of performance.
If CD catches a ball and Miles Sanders can outrun a slow linebacker, all those, they would have to eat a foot today on the No Names Police shows that were lambasting the Cowboys and giving the trophy to the Packers already. Would have loved to see it, but didn't happen.
Just because the Cowboys might still be, you know what? If anything, it gives more testament to the fact that they should have paid Parsons if the Cowboys are good, because he's there.
He didn't want to be
pay him because go on.
He didn't want to be
there because he's there. Therefore, we should pay him. That's why if we're this good, shouldn't we have good players?
He didn't want to be there.
Well, stick around if you're looking for your Palm Beach County Treasure Coast high school football fix. That's coming up right after this is ESPN West Palm High School Game Day powered by HSS Florida. We'll kick things off. Jupiter Palm Beach Gardens kicking off in just about 35 minutes. Myself and Damian Perez will take you up until kickoff. You'll hear from Theo Dorsey and talking with both head coaches on either side. Should be a great time. Got you all throughout the night here on ESPN 106.3. Big thanks to Damian Perez for keeping us up over the air in the interim because Christian will be on site. Thanks to Mike Rizzo and Colin Russo here. We will see you on Monday. Stay tuned for weekend programming. You get Saturday Tailgate at Saturday 9 a.m. presented by Hard Rock Bet. And you also have Sunday Huddle, who Brian Rowitz will be filling in for me. I believe 10 a.m. on Sunday, so stay tuned for that.
And good luck to Colin on his Ironman, everybody. Woo! Team Colin, woo!
Try Not to Die Challenge starts on Sunday morning. Looking forward to that. But this has been Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even